Looks like it froze last night. Good morning, everyone. It is glorious to be able to wake up in places like this. It's around 7 a.m. The sun is shining. Beautiful day. Unfortunately, I have to get out of here today and head back into the city. But this was needed. I needed to get away. All right, everyone. So I've been living in this beast for a little over a year, and I thought it would be time to make a video and reflect on the past year, what it's been like to live in the back of a pickup truck. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. When I first built out the truck, for those of you who watched the video, you always imagine what you're going to do, what it's going to be like, and you prepare for it. The reality, however, was very different. I was not prepared for the events that transpired. I did not winterize at all, and I had not expected to be up in this region during the winter that just passed. And not only was I not prepared for regular winter, but this area got record rainfalls. It was the highest rainfall this region had seen in about 30 years. So I was not at all prepared for it. I had water coming into the back door here. I had problems with mold and condensation. So I'm going to give you guys some insight to what I've had in case any of you decide to get the wild idea of living in your truck. It's not at all like truck camping. Truck camping is an occasional thing where you go back to your home and you can hit the reset button. I have no fallback plan. This is my home. Everywhere I go, this is it. If this thing falls apart, I'm toast. So preparing, I was not prepared. So the first thing I mentioned about mold. So when I put the foam mattress in, I thought I would have a good idea in getting one of those moisture-proof cases that you zip up, thinking that, you know, my body sweat and any condensation I get in there, it would protect the foam from it, and you wouldn't get any moisture and stuff. However, the reality was the opposite. Given how much rain there was and when it started to get cold, I had a lot of condensation, and I just assumed that the mattress was okay, but it wasn't. I came to find out that moisture actually got into the moisture resistant case, and so it gathers inside and it settled underneath the bottom of the foam. So when the rain eased up after a while, I wanted to take everything out and clean it out. Come to find out that the bottom of the foam was just really moldy, and what had happened is that the moisture got in and it sank to the bottom, and because it is a moisture resistant, it trapped the moisture in there, so it was actually wet on the bottom. I mean, literally wet to the touch. It had pooled up inside there. So if you have the idea of having a fully cased foam mattress, don't. I ended up switching out to one of the moisture resistant pads, that case covers that go on top and just wrap around. so it protects you from my sweat coming down, but it lets air pass through. And I do have carpeting underneath on top of the cabinetry, so as you can see, it's open and it's been great. I've had no problems since. So first tip, don't zip up your mattress if you have foam. Put a cover over it and let it air out. So that was the one thing, and I had so much condensation in there that in the colder months, when it did drop down to freezing point, I woke up every morning and the top of my sleeping bag was wet. And obviously it was very cold in there too, and waking up to a wet sleeping bag every morning, that was not good. So a couple of things with that. I found a USB dehumidifier, and that helped a lot. Heating is obviously the other way to get around it. So I ended up buying a small electric heater that I could run for 10 minutes at a time, maybe. That's why even when I had that, I still woke up every morning to a wet bed. But with the dehumidifier, my countertops, prior to using the dehumidifier, all the horizontal surfaces, the countertops, would also be wet. But after using the dehumidifier, that stopped. So it became bearable at that point. So over the past year, obviously, I've made some changes to how I live in here, what I need. And you can probably see right here is the last major upgrade that I did. I did this maybe about a month ago. And it's a diesel heater. And for those of you planning to have this kind of a lifestyle in a truck, diesel heater all the way. It's game changer. They're a bit of a pain to put in. You have to drill holes for the air intake. But so this winter so far, like this time last year, we were drowning in rain last year. We're flooding and everything. It was just so much rain. But as you can see, we got blue skies at the moment. So hopefully this winter is going to be a lot drier and easier to live in than last year. Although I guess this year we do have an El Nino, which is supposedly going to affect the southern regions more than up here in Northern California. So changes like that, they were prevalent for me. Can't think of anything else. I mean, you know about the electrical system. I made a video about that, so I won't go over that. I explained all that back then. Go ahead, watch that video. Speaking of electrical, this is my next upgrade. When I did the electrical system upgrade, I did not put a shore charger in there, so I could not plug in to an outlet anywhere to charge up my battery. So the whole time, for the whole year, it's been solar panels and engine. And during the hot months, the bright months with lots of sun, the solar panels throughout the day would give me enough sun to offset. I could go like 4 days without having to charge the battery up. That would take it almost down to full depletion at that point. Then I'd have to run the engine and drive. So that was when I was in a static environment, when I was camping out for 4 or 5 days. But I couldn't, so even if I went to a campsite, I couldn't plug in, right? The system is not built for that. I needed one of these. I couldn't do it last year, didn't have enough money. So this is the next thing I'm doing. This is a Victron Energy shore power charger. It's a 12 volt 30 amp. So it's going to be mounted next to the battery on the floor. It's going to be facing this way. So my bus bars are on this wall back in the corner. So the wire is going to come out straight to the bus bars. This looks like it's long enough. So initially what I'm going to do, or not going to do I should say, I'm not going to put I'm not going to put an outdoor plug for now. I might do that one later down the road, but for now I'm just going to have it come up and along the windowsill to probably right at the end of the window behind this, back over there. And then if I want to plug in, I'm just going to run the extension cable up through here and then plug it in. And that should get me, I don't expect I'll be doing that often, but what it will do during the dark months of the winter, when I'm working, it's not going to be an issue because I'll be driving back and forth to work and the engine will charge the battery. Not a big issue. But on the weekends, if I want to get out of town and go camping, it does afford me the option to go to a campsite that has hookups. And so if I want to like take a long weekend at a campsite for like 3 days or something like that, now I can plug in, or will be able to plug in as soon as I install it. So that's the next one I'm going to be doing. Other than that, I don't have any changes that I'm planning to make. Again, as I was explaining, it's going to be what I need as I go. Even now, a year later, I'm adapting. You know, I'm finding that, oh, well, now I can do this. I'm going to go here, but so when I go here, I need to do this. So it's it changes you. So when I did this, my porta potty is right here. This cabinet is a new one that I put in. My porta potty would normally go here. Wasps, go away. So when I put this in, it could no longer be there. So I needed to keep it in the back here, and I'll talk about that in a second. So I built the cabinet on top of the fridge, and it just slides in, and I have the bungee right here to stop it sliding out when I'm driving. Porta potty in the back of the cab. Yeah, that was I learned the hard way on that one. Initially, I was keeping it in the back of the cab because I figure, you know, I go to a campsite, I'll just pull it out and take it off into the woods or whatever, blah blah blah, and do my thing. But sometimes you have emergencies and you need quick access to it. So I learned that the hard way, that you know, getting out of the truck in the middle of the night to go and get it and then climb back into the back, yeah, no, keep it in the back with you. Again, if you're a truck camper, it doesn't really matter. You're not really going to deal with that issue much. I mean, if you have to do it once in a while when you're truck camping, not an issue. But if you're living in your truck, put it in there. Keep it in there. Do not take it out. Okay, so I made a post to ask you guys if you had any questions you wanted to give me when I was going to make this video. I got one question. Tam's Country Life. What's up, Tam? She asked if I could go to any country with my truck, which country would I go to first? And this was a difficult question to answer because I had thought there are definitely places that I want to go. I would love to do the Pan American Highway, to drive all the way from the top of Alaska to the tip of Argentina. I would so love to do that. You know, Youngest Road, otherwise known as Death Road. Who doesn't want to drive on that road? I mean, doesn't the name Death Road entice you? It entices me. I would love to do that. Australia, another place. I mean, that's the home of overlanding right there. The Aussies, man, they got this stuff down. I would love to get out to Australia with my truck and just travel with some of those Aussie overlanders. I'd love to do that. But the question was, where would I go first? And I thought Australia was going to be my answer. But then I thought about it. And the answer is not a country so much as a continent. And that would be Africa. I suppose I could narrow that down and say Tanzania, because that's where the Serengeti is. Can you imagine waking up on the Serengeti? Just opening up the back door and there is the Serengeti. I mean, granted, I could get eaten. There are plenty of things there that would want to kill me and eat me. But can you just imagine that, waking up on the Serengeti? That would just be... I can't think of anything that would be better. That would be just amazing. And just to drive around, like all of Africa. I mean, even go up to Egypt. You know, just spend months and months and months, and maybe even years driving around the entire continent. Probably years, actually. Go up to Egypt, the pyramids. Just, that would be beyond imagining. I'm like, So that would be my answer. Africa. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call this video to an end right here and go have an adventure. And I'll see you in the next one.